Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Building a Nation with Team Canada. And today we're going to do our end of season look-in on Major League Soccer. Going to look at the Canadian teams, going to look at the whole league. Try not to have it last too long, but we do need to take some sort of look-in at basically what are our feeder teams for Team Canada. So, start here with the competitions in the Western Conference, where we have Vancouver. As you can see here, we got 33 games played, so there's one game left to play. We got 14 wins, 8 draws, 11 losses, total of 50 points, plus 12 goal differential. That's pretty good. It's a little bit better number-wise than last year, but we basically are just about to finish in the same place as last year. However, with this final game coming up, we got a chance to get 3 more points, and that could boost us all the way up to a possible 4th place finish in the Western Conference. Meanwhile, over here in the Supporter Shield, we're sitting in 9th place, so again, we could jump all the way up to 7th place in the Supporter Shield, which would be a very good finish, especially considering, our board expectations, which is just be competitive in those two competitions. So we've more than surpassed competitiveness. As you can see here, the board is just absolutely loving it. 83% for the Western Conference and 81% for the Supporters Shield. We also, overreached in the Canadian Championships. They just wanted us to reach the final. We won the final, and that gave us 80% board confidence. The one competition that's not here, of course, is Champions League. That's one of the things I dislike about Champions League, is that as soon as it's over, it's just completely forgotten about. The board forgets about it. The fans forget about it. Everybody forgets about Champions League, but it wasn't that long ago that we actually finished in 2nd place. I think it's Landmarks. Yeah, North American Champions League runners-up just a few months ago. So, we've done pretty well in competitions overall. Definitely exceeded expectations. If we go to Major League Soccer here, look at our season preview. They had us at 1,000-to-1 odds. They had us finish second to last to Cincinnati. But, we finished all the way up here. Sort of swapped places with Toronto. We finished in Toronto's place up here, 30-to-1 odds. And, we still have odds to win it, right? We're still in it. We're in the playoffs. So, our odds are still more favorable than the rest of these teams that are out of the playoffs. So, speaking of being in and or out of the playoffs, we do have 50 points. But Colorado only has 44 in 8th place, so they can't catch up to us. The playoffs are set in both conferences, even though there's still one game to go. So there's not a ton of drama going on at the end of the regular season, but there is a little bit of drama because there are playoff places up for grabs. We could finish anywhere between 7th and 4th, depending on how this final game spreads out. How it ends up, I guess, is a better way to put it. Anyway, let's take a look at the schedule, see how we got here. You remember early in the season, we played strong in the early season because we're getting ready for Champions League and started off pretty well. But then once we got into the midst of Champions League, we started to lose a lot of players and we started to just get some bad form. And we lost a lot of games early. We lost a bunch of games in April. We didn't win a single game in the month of May after Champions League was over. A little bit of Champions League hangover. Then, we picked it up. June, we went undefeated. July, we went undefeated. And then August, international competitions started up again, and we started to get a little ragged once again. So the last 2 months, we've only played 8 games in the last 2 months, so it's not a ton. It's basically a game a week, which is, it's not a lot of games, but it's a good pace of games. It helps you sort of build momentum when you can practice for a whole week and then play a game. Practice for a whole week, play a game. it helps everybody on the team, I think, improve a little bit and get better and not just get worn out from match after match after match. But yeah, we've had some weird lineups in. Our best game was against San Jose, and San Jose is just a terrible tale this year. Last year, take a look at their landmarks. Last year, they were runners-up in the Champions Cup. They won MLS Cup last year. Runners-up in Champions Cup this year. They won MLS Cup last year. And now they're back in the bottom of the league. Take a look at the competitions. San Jose, 11th in the Western Conference. They only scored 38 points this year. Good for 18th in the Supporters' Shield. So you go from winning the league to finishing out of the playoffs. It's pretty bad. And this game that we had against San Jose sort of showed where they were at, because we had a fairly rotated lineup in. You know, you look at this lineup, we did have a starting central defense in there, although we did take Henry out in the 85th minute. We had Lucic in there, Ahmed, Tibert, Zalalem. Our attackers were just all over the place. We had Senior was in there, Brim. I believe this was his first or second game with the team. Lemire, the youngster, and Blair. You know, just a really weird attack that we had in, and we scored 3 goals. Take a look and watch the goals. It was just a pretty good game. I mean, San Jose didn't look that bad in terms of their stats. They just couldn't generate anything offensively, and we did the opposite. We generated everything offensively. So there's 28 minutes in. Headed down to Blair. I mean, look at that. That's what Blair is all about. Big dude just jumping over top of everybody. Got it to Lemire. And I think that's Blair's best option. Here he is again heading it on. Lemire, bad play on the defense, and the youngster scores again. He's like 16 or 17 years old. 2 goals in MLS. And then here we go. Venuto to Tibert. To Brim, getting his first goal with the team. That's a great shot. So, yeah, I keep calling him Blair. It's Bear, Theo Bear. I don't think he's a lone striker. He's got the physicals. He just doesn't have the technicals to be a lone striker. He's a setup man. Target man in support is really what he's best at, and we saw it right there. He didn't score any goals, but he directly led to 2 of those goals with his, strength and jumping reach and just getting the ball to his teammates. So if we can find that role for Blair, we're going to need to start playing more 2-striker formations like we had here, the old 4-4. Or no, we played a 4-2-4 here. But still, we got to do something like that if we're going to play with Blair a little bit more. But anyway, that's basically how we got to where we got in the competitions. We can take a look at our team stats real quick. So we got our league stats up here. A little bit of an interesting season. As you can see here, Kemry was our leader in appearances. I keep thinking that we're not at the top, but we are at the top. This is 24 appearances, our most appearances last year. So our number 1 guy missed 10 games this season. That's strange. And Kemry isn't even what I would consider our number 1 guy. I mean, he's pretty decent as far as central defender go, but he's not our top central defender. He's just the guy who played the most. He was capped at the Tunisian under-23 level this year, so he's probably not going to make it onto Team Canada, so maybe we'll look at getting rid of this guy. But for now, he's a very solid MLS player. We'll keep him around. Adonijah Reed got 23 appearances, 23 starts while on loan, so that's pretty good. He's been looking fine. 21 years old now, so we need to do something with this guy. I don't exactly know that he's Team Canada material, considering all the all the wingers that we do have on the team, but he's still got a couple years left of development. He's still got some good potential. So we got to do something with him. Either trade him or start him. One of the two. Gideon Zelalem played a lot this year. 23 starts for the young American. Still not capped by Team USA at any level. That's unfortunate. He's worth $2.9 million at the moment. He's improved quite a bit this season. You look at him, his attributes are just going up, especially mentally. He went up quite a bit. He's gotten a little stronger, and he's played very, very well for us. You look at here, 7 goals, 2 assists, 85% passing, 7.05 rating. So Zelalem has been really a huge addition for us this year, especially with a lot of our players in and out of the lineup. Venuto still playing strong, 6 goals, 6 assists, 75% passing, 7.21 rating. I do believe he's our highest rated player on the season for the second season in a row. 25-year-old Brazilian now, still also not capped at any level for Brazil, so we got a chance of possibly flipping this guy to Team Canada. He's improved a little bit this season, especially his mentals, decision-making, off the ball, that kind of stuff. Physically, he's gotten a little bit stronger, but for the most part, he's still a very good player. Not what I would call a dominant player, but he's got that speed, so he's definitely still on Team Canada's radar. Zach McMath in goal. He's currently unhappy for various reasons. We'll look at those when we get to dynamics. Nerwinski played a lot. Henry played a lot. They both played fairly well. Mario Ahmed, we've looked at him. I believe we've looked at him for the under-23 team. But yeah, he's improving quite a bit. He's up to 2.5 stars now, looking good. Tibert is still in there, played 18 games this season, 3 goals, 3 assists, 7.16 rating, so he played fine in the midfield. Raheem Edwards got 14 starts. He's sort of, I think, reached his peak. 25 years old. I think this is about as good as he's going to get. Not quite Team Canada level, although he does have 7 caps. Zlatkovic, we've seen him plenty. He continues to improve. Up to 3 stars now. Left back. He's a starting caliber player in MLS at 17 years of age. This guy is just outstanding. His physicals continue to get better. He's getting better mentally, technically, all up and down the board. He is just continues to improve. Bear, we looked at his performance. 7 goals on the season, tied with our leading goal scorer with Gideon Zelalem. So it's been a weird season. Our main strikers have done hardly anything. Take a look. Jordan Hamilton, 4 goals, 2 assists on the season. Only 13 starts. Sean Hundle, also 4 goals, 1 assist, 12 starts on the season. So these guys are playing so much for Team Canada that they hardly played for us at all. Next on the list is a guy who's probably our best acquisition this season, Jonas Hakkinen. I don't know if you remember him. We picked him up from Finland. And look at this kid. He has done nothing but improve since he got here. He's up to 3 stars, 20 years old. And he's just improving and improving. Look at his strength is up to 12. He's only been here for a few months, and he's just been hitting the gym, working out like crazy at our new facilities. And yeah, this is one of those times when Football Manager makes you feel like a bit of a prophet, a bit of a genius, where, I looked at this guy and said, he's not that good right now, but I see his potential. And he's starting to fulfill that potential. He's still not the greatest central defender you've ever seen, but he's got some attributes about him that could be incredibly helpful, especially if he continues to improve. Now, he's getting close to maxing out at this level. He's got maybe a half star in him of, what we think is his potential, but he's got maybe another, 1 star above that. If, however that hidden potential thing works out. I think that hidden potential means that if he goes and plays at a higher level, his potential will reach that. So maybe we look to move this guy on to somebody at a higher level. I don't know, that point may be past at this time. But, at this point, it's all about Team Canada. So even though he's a very solid player for us, we might look to move him on. Anybody else of interest? Colin got 11 starts this year. He hasn't necessarily been improving that much. Mentally, he's done some improvement. Technically, a little bit. He's got a lot of 10s all over the place currently. But he's not really improving at the rate of some of these other guys. So I don't know if he needs more starts. He's going to be, 19 years old next year, so we need him to start improving. He could be a late bloomer. That's what I'm hoping on for Simon Collin, is that all this starting experience is going to suddenly help him bloom once he reaches, 19, 20 years old, 2021, somewhere in that area. Lucic, likewise, has not developed all that much, but he hasn't gotten much playing time. Only 11 starts this year. Still, that's pretty good for a 17-year-old. But, he's up to 2 stars, 3-star potential. I don't know. We'll see about that. Luke McGee got 11 starts. The goalkeeper we brought in from England, he hasn't started in quite a while. He's just sort of a guy we're keeping in our back pocket. Darren Sr. has also improved some. He's up to 2.5 stars, 16 years old. So anytime you get that half star before the age of 18, you're looking pretty good in terms of development. So we're going to keep looking at Senior. Daniel Lovitz came in, played 6 times for us this year. 29 years old, so he doesn't have too much left in him, either with us or with the national team. But he's been a good, solid, dependable rotation player for us. Will Johnson, injured mid-season. We kept him on injured reserve. And unfortunately, that's how his career is going to end here in Vancouver, unless we can sign him on as a coach. Jack Chesser, the Scottish player, got 4 starts. Hasn't improved a ton. He's up to 2.5 stars. I don't remember if he was 2.5 when we brought him in or not. But yeah, he's another guy we're just sort of keeping in our back pocket, 18 years old. Let's see, Blackman. There's Brim. He's resting right now. Got 3 starts with us, 2 goals in 3 starts. So that's not bad. Hopefully we can get something from him in the playoffs. 22 years old. He's still got a lot of room to grow, but he needs more than 3 starts to get that. So next year is going to be incredibly important for this guy. He's going to be starting every game for us next year, and hopefully he's going to improve by leaps and bounds. Let's see, Politi, guy we brought up from our academy. Not much to say here. He hasn't improved much. Lemire, going out to Germany in a year. He's improved some. He's up to 2.5 stars. So again, anytime you reach that 2.5 stars before your 18th birthday, you got a chance to be very good. Haywood, midfielder, hasn't done much in training. 18 years old now, so he's going to have to start improving. And then Schnitzler, 24-year-old German. We don't expect a ton from this guy. But again, another back pocket kind of guy. All right. So that's way too much. We did too much deep diving, so I think we'll just... let's see. Major League Soccer. Do we want to look at the stats? We can look at the stats real quick. New York, leading in goals. We were 8th in the league in goals. Headers, who cares? Possession. Our possession dropped off the face of the earth. Last year, we were like 3rd or 4th in the league. This year, we're nowhere. Philadelphia's top of the league. Most tackles won. Our tackling has gone up. Last year, we were like 5th. Now we're number 1, 88% tackling. 470 tackles. 37 yellow cards is a lot, but not as much as some teams. Just sort of, that's what we've been doing. We've been tackling and bombing the ball forwards. Least concession, 7th in the league. Only 39 goals allowed in 33 matches. It's not great, especially when you compare to LAFC. 16 goals allowed in 33 matches. That's pretty good. Most shutouts, of course, LAFC. 22 shutouts on the season. We did have 10, tied for 7th. But we could use a few more, that's for sure. Most fouls, 8th in the league in fouls. So there's been an improvement. We can see one area of improvement. We tackled better than last year, and we fouled less than last year. So that's one improvement we can see season over season through the stats. Crosses completed, we're up to second place, 16%. Look at this, the league is going crazy. 3 teams with 16%. That's out of this world. Usually 15% is the absolute limit. So, and any other year we'd be number 1 with 16%, but Philadelphia and LA have joined us up there, hitting the target. Not very accurate. We've become a volume shooting team, and you saw our goals. We're just not scoring a ton of goals. So it's been that kind of year. We've kind of done it defensively a little bit with our tackling, even though we've given up 39 goals, scored 51. So it's, you know, sort of just an even year, and that's why we sort of finished mid-table. There we go. Let's get to today's game versus Atlanta United. Some more stuff we could go over, but, oh yeah. I offered Preki the role of coach for Team Canada because, you know, he was out of work. Unfortunately, he was let go from San Jose. We looked at San Jose earlier. I guess you can guess why. I mean, he did... he wasn't even the guy who won the championship. They let go the guy who won the championship last year. So Preki came in 2020, and he's swiftly out, unfortunately. He's a good coach. He's just sort of got to, you know, motivating is not his thing. He's a technical coach. He's just got to find his place. Anyway, let's go get to Atlanta United's second place in the Eastern Conference. Now, the Western Conference was dominant this year. We had 7 of the top 10 teams this year were in the Western Conference. So, you know, the Western Conference playoffs are going to be kind of interesting this year. They should be pretty tough. But whoever wins the Western Conference will probably be the favorite in the MLS Cup. So we got a good chance if we make the Cup, but you know, it's going to be hard to get out of the Western Conference, especially when you keep getting everybody injured. Our preparation against Costa Rica, Ajay Cabra has suffered a bruised shin. 3 days. Okay, that's not bad. We got several Team Canada games coming up this week. A couple friendlies for under 23s and under 20s. Not going to pay much attention to those. We'll look at the rosters, but other than that, not a lot. And then we got, you know, World Cup qualification later this week for Team Canada. So for now, we're going to play with Vancouver, get this game out of the way, and then get back to Team Canada and, you know, sort of check in on the playoffs as we play our games with Vancouver. I guess we didn't look at the other Canadian teams quickly. Toronto FC finished in the playoffs. 6th place, 42 points on the year. Montreal, not a great season. Finished 10 points out of the playoffs. Only 32 points on the season. So Montreal's got a lot of rebuilding to do. We'll see about that. But today's matchups, Atlanta is the betting favorite. They come in strong form. 4 wins and a loss in their last 5. We've got a win and a draw against Atlanta in our only 2 meetings. We got 3 players injured. Will Johnson's ineligible. We got a bunch of players out for international duty. And here we go. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Hakanen's been called up. I forgot about that. I shouldn't have done that. Get out of here. David Norman called up. Get out of here. Theo, get out. Come on. Theo, come on now. Got some delay in my joystick here. Theo Blair. Come on, you can do it. He's out as well. Daniel Lovett's unfit at left wing. We're running out of players here, so we'll bring Raheem Edwards up. Let's see. Tristan Blackman has not played in a long time. We need another midfielder. T-Bert, I guess. I mean, might as well play our starter. Let's see. Now we need some reserves. Oh boy. Haywood, the youngster, the academy player, can go in there. Brim is being rested. Politi, left wing. Oh, there we go. Darren Sr. isn't on any team, so put him in there. We can even put Politi in there for Lovitz, who's unfit. So it's a lot of reserves. A lot of third stringers on the bench. Do we have any other choice? Oh, we got Kemry at central defense. We'll put him in there for Blackman. Absolutely a much better choice. All right. There we go. Let's submit that team. So our bench is looking pretty shaky right now, but starting lineup is fairly solid. McMath in goal, of course. Zlatkovic on the left, Nerwinski on the right, Henry and Kemry. So it's our starting defense. Can't complain about that. Basically our starting midfield too. T-Bert and Zalalem. They've both played a ton. Up top, we got Raheem Edwards on the left, Colin in the middle, Venuto on the right, 11 assists on the season. He's been our best player again for a second season in a row. Hamilton up top, 9 goals, top goal scorer. I guess when you include all competitions, he's the top goal scorer. Meanwhile, Atlanta United, Brad Guzan still in goal. Kamar Lawrence on the left-hand side, Perez, Escobar, Robinson. So they still have a very formidable defense. Goslin and Lindoso. Rodrigo Lindoso, not familiar with this guy. Top goal scorer, 10 goals on the season. What does he look like? 31-year-old Brazilian. Deep-lying playmaker. Yeah, I'd say he's pretty good. 17 penalty taking and just green, super green all the way around. So, good player. Martinez on the left. Martinez on the right. Martinez is everywhere. Nagby in the middle, up top. 5 goals, 5 assists. Who is this? This is G. Martinez. Gonzalo Martinez. He's pretty good. Corners, dribbling, flair, acceleration. Yeah, I'd say he's pretty good. He could play left or right. Currently playing right-hand side because the other Martinez, I assume this is Joseph? Yes, Joseph Martinez, also very good. So, yeah, they got some talent up top. You can see why they finished second in the league. And then Elirondo up top, 5 goals on the season. Another Brazilian, not quite as good as those other guys. Just sort of, a decent player. So let's go. Let's get to the match. Yeah, dressing room. Yeah. Hand over to the assistant. Close down the way we normally close down. Let's go. Get out of here. And here we go. Tunnel talk. You've left Charles Andreas Brim out. Is that due to his recent injury problem? Sure. And others, absolutely. He's not ready. Get out. Oh, another question. Your team has been heavily impacted. Yes, it's an opportunity for some of our young players. We're not going to say it's shambolic. We don't want to, disparage anybody this time. How much of a boost is Eric Lamela? I don't care. I'm focusing on my own team, so get out. So here we are. I forgot to check. I think this is a home game. We are in the whites, Atlanta, in their typical sort of red and black. What kind of red would you call that? Is that like a rust red? Is that an Atlanta red? I don't know. Let's see. The Atlanta Hawks are red. The Braves. I mean, there's some red in the Braves, I guess. I think they're mostly known for blue. Anyway, here we go. Counterattack possibility. Nope. Atlanta keeps it in. Lawrence on the attack, getting way forward. Nagby's got a little bit of space, but he sends it over. Here we go. Corner from Zelalem. He's taken a lot of our set pieces this year and done fairly well. Gets it out to Venuto. Back out wide to Zelalem. He stays on side. Hamilton can't win the header. Zelalem again stays on side somehow. Passes it back to Kemry. Nerwinski. Colin going to make a play forward to Hamilton. He sends it wide. That was a decent attack. We had 2 or 3 goes at it from that corner. That's what you want. You want to, do your set piece and then, try to recycle. Send in another attack. Here we go. Repeat. Near side sends one in. I don't like this rain. Venuto out wide to Zelalem. Sends it across to Edwards. Heads it in. Guzan with the save. Because both of us play in domes. Whether we're in Atlanta or in Vancouver, we should have domage here. So we should not be getting rained on. But hey, I guess both domes do open. So somebody could be remiss in their dome coverage. Here we go. Venuto. Plenty of space down the near side. Sends one forward to Hamilton. Hamilton. The defense was there. They bothered him just enough to send that shot wide. But one of these, they keep giving us opportunities like that. And we're going to score one of these goals. 20 minutes down. There's been a lot of highlights. What are we up to here? We are on key highlights. Both teams with 3 shots. Vancouver with the only shot on target. Atlanta, 38% possession. For some reason, I forgot the word possession. It just was erased from my memory momentarily. We should close in on Kamar Lawrence. That's a fine idea. Here we go. Throw in. We seem to be, obviously we're dominating possession. There's a big tackle, but Tibert recovers, gets it back post to Venuto. What a goal. He sort of karate kicked that one out of the air. Let's take a look at this replay. Sort of a jump kick. Vancouver moved up to 5th position. So there's Venuto. Near side, all by himself. Oh, look at that defender just ran away. And there's Venuto with the karate kick. So it was one of those situations where the defender had him covered and then just inexplicably ran away. Here's a ball downfield. Robinson to Nagby, putting the pressure on Atlanta. Their defense should be able to handle our pressure. They got some veterans back there, goalkeeper included. Perez is a very talented player. 37 minutes. We'll see if Atlanta can get one back before the end. Perez bombs it downfield. Zlatkovic, though, getting more and more comfortable as an MLS starting left back. 17 years of age. Had no offers for him. Nobody's even considered coming in for Zlatkovic. I haven't considered selling him. Here's Edwards now. Plenty of space. Cutting through the middle. Sends it forward. Venuto again. Venuto. He scores. Short post against Guzan. I thought he was going to cut that back for Hamilton. But no, he's going to score it himself. There we go. 2-0. Edwards vying for more playing time. It's an excellent play to Venuto. And then he just squeezes one between Guzan and the goalpost. 2-0. So even with a sort of a makeshift lineup, it's maybe not as makeshift as I thought. Because basically starting defense and basically starting midfield, it's hard to complain about that. Might get Tibert out at some point in the second half. Because he does have a Team Canada game coming up later in the week. So here we go, analysis. I don't think there's much to say except keep it going. Let's go. Party on. Excellent. See if Atlanta makes any adjustments in the second half. What else is there to talk about this season? It's been a good season. I've been fairly happy with it. Zelalem kind of starts to slow play it and then bombs it forward to Hamilton on the run. Beats the defense to the ball. Guzan with the stop, but Hamilton recovers. Not for long. Escobar clears it for Atlanta. Yeah, it's been another one of those seasons. It's just been a good season. The board isn't worried about too much of their expectations. Like normally at this stage in an MLS save, the board would be ratcheting up their expectations extremely high. But they haven't been doing that this save for whatever reason. I think it's because we keep switching our lineup in the offseason, selling off a bunch of veteran players in the offseason. And the board looks at that and says, well, we can't have high expectations because we don't have any veteran players. So that's fine. We'll keep overperforming and just sort of live life. But eventually these young players like Zlatkovic, they're going to be too good to ignore. He's getting better and better by the day. His value is only $800,000, which is a little surprising. But he's still good. All right, Atlanta with a throw in 78 minutes. Sort of missed our substitution window. Martinez with the shot. Goes wide. All right. Let's get T-Bert out of there. We'll bring in Chesser. Has not played much this season and definitely not much recently. I don't know that there's necessarily anybody else we want to take out. We could take out Venuto, but he's playing best of anybody. We could take Hamilton out for Darren Sr. just to get a different look at striker. Hamilton's had his opportunities. He's not able to connect on any of them. So let's give the youngster a try. 80 minutes. Oh, they've gone to a 3-5-2. Interesting. Sort of a, I don't know what that is. Condor formation. Looks like a big two-headed bird. It's the Aquila. Rodan. I don't know. The Rodan formation, although Rodan doesn't have two heads. Martinez, sends one straight in on McMath. I did see Godzilla last weekend. Could talk about that. Probably not, though. McMath bombs one downfield. This could be one of those extra long highlights. Guzan bombs one ahead. Henry calmly gathers it in for Zelalem. Out wide for Venuto. Is he going to find the young strikers? No, he's going to go near side to Edwards, and Edwards scores. So our wingers doing all the scoring in this game. Raheem Edwards, 5th goal of the season. So Venuto with a little repayment earlier. There's Edwards just wide open, beat his defensive man by, a good 10 yards. Not very good defending on Atlanta United's part. That's why I hate three at the back. You always the wingers just always exploit and just crush you from the wings whenever you do 3 at the back. At least that's what I found. There we go. 14 shots for Atlanta. That's interesting. They had more shots than us, but we had 9 shots, 6 on target. So it's one of our more clinical games. 56% possession. It wasn't necessarily dominating statistic-wise, but we scored every other time we shot the ball, so that's pretty good. Look at those ratings. Everybody's super green. Venuto, player of the match, 9.5 rating, 2 goals and an assist. I'd say that's a pretty good way to end the season. Let's hand that over to the assistant. Let's get out of here. And let's see where we're at in terms of playoff position. Unfortunately, we're going to be missing several players for this first playoff game. Let's see. Competitions. So we finished 8th in the supporter 8th in Major League Soccer, 8th in the supporter shield. But what I want to know is Western Conference. 5th in the Western Conference. So that's pretty good. We moved up a couple of playoff spaces. So let's see. It'll probably be 2 versus 7. So we're probably going to be playing against Houston. 4 versus 5 matchup in the next round. If they keep with that format. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure if that's the format. I would assume it's the format, but you can never assume anything with Major League Soccer. Definitely found that out. Maybe they'll tell us with one little click. Yes, we do play Houston in the Western Conference first round. So let's take a look at the playoff tree. Yeah. So Houston, Vancouver, winner to play LAFC. That doesn't make sense. I don't think that's right. I think they'll reseed for the semifinals, but for now they're just showing this in the bracket here because LAFC moves on because they won the league. So Minnesota Sporting KC, Real Salt Lake, Dallas are the other 3 matchups in the Western Conference. Can we look at possibly Eastern Conference? They're not going to make it easy on us. Let's see. No. League table. That's no good. Okay, let's go back to competitions. They just do not make it easy. MLS Eastern Conference. First round. There we go. Okay, so we got New York City versus New York Red Bull. That's going to be a grudge match. Atlanta versus Chicago. And New England versus TFC with... Who won? Philadelphia won the Eastern Conference, finishing 2nd in the Supporters Shield. Okay, so that is MLS for 2020. We'll come back. We'll watch a couple playoff games and see how that goes. But next up on the list, we're going to be concentrating, I think, on Team Canada. So until then, we'll see you later.